testing 1, 2, 3. Alright, we're live. Plan Slay the Princess, guys. I've already done one playthrough of this, but there are several options, so I'm pretty sure this is gonna be something new.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a cabin. And in the basement of that cabin is a princess. You're here to slay her. If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Have you considered that maybe the only reason she's going to end the world is because she's
While
locked
I
up?
appreciate the mental exercise, we are running up against a bit of a ticking clock. Nevertheless, let me assure you, the princess is locked up because she's dangerous. She is not dangerous because she's locked up. And before you decide to waste even more of our time by asking how I know that, let me suggest a more pragmatic lens through which to view this situation. Causality doesn't matter here, because the end result is the same no matter what led us up to this point. If the princess leaves the cabin, the world will end, and there is no changing that. It's no use arguing semantics over a metaphorical chicken or egg, because the egg is hatched and it's about to ruin everything. Unless, of course, you do your job and slay her.
Okay, well, I've already done one playthrough of this, so, like, I know not to trust the narrator. But he's got a good point. Sweet, I've always wanted to off a Monarch. Viva la Revolution!
The spirit. You make your way up the short path to the cabin. You'll find the princess within. A warning before you go any further. She will lie, she will cheat, and she will do everything in her power to stop you from slaying her. Don't believe a word she says. We're not going to go through with this, right? She's
Hey,
a
it's
princess.
Hero.
We're supposed to save princesses, not slay them. Ignore him. He doesn't know what he's talking about.
I do wonder what would happen if I always listened to the voice of the hero. Because, like, he's always with us. What if I'm
The interior
always
of the
listening to
cabin
the
is
hero?
almost entirely bare. The air is stale and musty, and the
I'm gonna
floor
get this
and
a shot.
walls are painted in a fine layer of dust. The only furniture of note is a plain wooden table. Perched on that table is a pristine blade. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the
You
blade.
take the blade from the table. It'd be rather difficult to slay the princess and save the world without it.
Into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a staircase faintly illuminated by an unseen light in the room below. This is an oppressive place. The air feels heavy and damp, a hint of rot filtering from the ancient wood. If the princess really lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice carries up the stairs.
Who's there?
She sounds dangerous. It's almost as if she's the one in charge down here.
Don't let it fool you. It's all part of the manipulation.
Just checking in on you.
Oh, it's been so long since anyone's come down here. I was starting to think they'd forgotten about me.
You walk down the stairs and lock eyes with the princess. There's a heavy chain around her wrist, binding her to the far wall of the basement.
She's so coldly beautiful. Is she really a threat to the world?
Focus on the task at hand.
And there you are. Are you here to kill me or something?
What? No way. Why would you even think that? Okay, yeah, you caught me. I'm here to sleep. Yeah. Nuh-uh.
Then drop the knife.
We should. It'll go a long way to building trust with her.
Okay.
Don't you dare.
Well, my thing is to listen to the
It's fine.
to the voice of
We can
of
decide
the
what we
hero.
want to do after we talk to her. Maybe she really is a monster. Killing someone in cold blood isn't very becoming of us.
Drop it.
The blade tumbles out of your trembling hands and drops to the floor with an unceremonious clang.
Thank you. Maybe now we can just talk.
Against your better judgment, you step forward to speak with the princess face to face, unarmed. We'll be fine. I don't know what you're hoping to accomplish here, but I can assure you there's no reasoning with her. Just make sure you don't forget about the blade on the floor. You're going to need it.
So here we are. What an awkward start to a relationship.
There's people out there who think you're going to end the world. What do you have to say about that?
Don't just tell her that.
Is that why they threw me down here? But I don't want to hurt anyone. I like the world, I think. I don't remember much about it, to be honest. I've been down here a long time.
Just how long has she been down here?
If I'm supposed to be capable of ending the world, then how did I wind up here, chained to a wall? Have they told you why I'm allegedly so dangerous?
My chair almost fell backwards. Deflect. What are you gonna do if I let you down out of here? I've been told enough. I was hoping you'd tell me. No, but I'm sure they have their reasons for keeping that information secret from me. No, and if I'm honest, I'm more inclined to trust you than I'm inclined to trust them. Remain silent. What are you gonna do if I let you out of here?
Princess hesitates before responding. She doesn't know. She's been down here too long to have any idea of what she'd do in another life. She knows what she'd do. She's just searching for whatever answer she thinks you want to hear.
I don't think I can answer that question in a way you'd find meaningful. At the end of the day, whatever the two of us have going on down here is about trust. Whoever sent you to slay me claimed I was a threat to the world, but they didn't tell you why. That doesn't sound right to me. And I don't think it sounds right to you either. Otherwise, we'd be killing each other instead of talking.
She has a point. There's a reason I've been telling you to question the situation, and there's a reason you've listened.
So, I could tell you that I'd lead a quiet life in the woods, or that I'd open an orphanage, or that I'd do any other number of good things that I'm sure you think you want to hear. But you don't really know me, do you? What can my word possibly be worth in a situation like this?
Absolutely nothing.
She's right about one thing. Her word isn't worth
But neither
anything.
does the narrator's word.
Like I said, it's all about trust. Blind trust.
It's just a matter of who I want to blindly
So
trust
do
in
you
the
trust
situation.
me, the prisoner, the victim, the princess clearly incapable of ending the world? Or do you trust whoever put me here?
She's wrong. This isn't about trust. This is about risk.
It is about
We
trust.
stand to lose everything, all for the sake of one person, and a subjugating monarch no less.
It is about trust because you have yet to tell me why she's going to end the world or how. And really, it's just one blindly trusting here. Okay, we've talked
Oh,
enough.
have you decided what to do with me?
You know why you're here.
I'm going to keep you locked away down here, at least for a bit. Okay, no. I'm getting you out of here.
You have to be kidding me. You walk up to the chains binding the princess to the wall and give them a tug. They're large and heavy, far too solid for you to even imagine trying to break them apart.
I'm guessing you don't have the key.
Maybe it's somewhere upstairs. Doubtful. Whoever locked the princess away down here intended for her to never see the light of day. They wouldn't have just left the key to her chains somewhere in the cabin.
And if there isn't a key, do you have any ideas?
Well, if you do have that big, sharp knife, you could always cut me out of here.
Okay.
She speaks with almost complete nonchalance. If we were stuck down here for long enough, I'm sure we'd be nonchalant about cutting our way out.
That.
Anything to finally be free.
And it was her idea, not mine.
You attempt to make your way out of the basement, but the door at the top of the stairs slams shut. You hear the click of a lock sliding into place. Is someone else here?
I'll turn to the bottom of the stairs.
You make your way back to the bottom of the stairs. This would have been so much easier if you'd simply slain her like you were supposed to. Easier for whom? Easier for everyone.
I heard the door slam. They locked you down here too, didn't they? The knife. Pick it up and cut me out of here.
You won't like what happens if you do that.
Save the princess.
Against your better judgment, you place the blade against the princess's arm, just above the massive, unyielding chain. You cut into her flesh. The blade is sharp, and you make quick work of it. Before long, you're able to crack through bone, and she pulls the bleeding stub of her arm through the iron gauntlet. She didn't so much as utter a sound.
Hello.
Free from her bindings,
Welcome to the chat.
princess turns to face you, her fierce gaze meeting your eye. How is she so composed after losing an arm? It's like she isn't even bothered by it.
Thank you. Now let's get out of here.
Fridge sucks.
No, we won't have any of that.
My
The
speech
stakes are
too.
too high. You can't just let her escape into the world. No, I just can't let her escape into the world.
How's your streaming going? Do you stream
As the
daily?
princess
I don't
approaches
stream
the bottom
daily. I have
stair,
no
her body
streaming
steps
schedule.
forward and raises
The streaming's going
blade.
good so far. I haven't been streaming that long yet.
Wait, this isn't fair. You can't just do that. Watch me.
Pretty much anything I own, really. I stream pretty much anything. Should I warn her or should I slay the princess? Slay.
You bring the blade down and plunge it into the princess's back. Finally.
Let's see what happens.
Okay. There's no going back now.
Hello!
Though the
Wow,
blade
that's
left a deep
more of
gash
you
in her
than I
shoulder,
expected.
She barely so much as flinches.
I don't
turning
usually
around
get
to
more than
stare
one
at you
person.
incredulously.
Are you serious? I don't know what came over you, but if we're doing this, I guess I'll have to kill you. Do you think I need both of my arms to do that? I can beat you to death with one. But I don't have to tell you that. I'll go ahead and show you.
Slay the
Thank
princess.
you. You swing your arm towards her throat, the blade singing through the air. But she's
It's
ready.
going good.
She grabs your
Thank you.
arm, her grip like a stone vice. You drop the blade.
Ooh.
Pathetically. She lets go, and faster than you can react,
Hey.
rears back and hits you
That
with
was
a
brutal.
bone-shattering haymaker. There's a ringing in your ears. You're fairly certain you can feel bone grinding against bone where she fractured your jaw, but your body isn't allowing you to feel much right now, adrenaline coursing through your system and numbing your nerves.
You got all the essentials.
You fall to your knees. You're barely able to bring your trembling arms up to defend yourself before she hits you again.
Yes, I do. I have all the essentials and I made them all myself.
The first. You feel bones shatter with every impact, unknown ruptures blossoming with blood somewhere inside of you.
You poor thing. I'll go ahead and put you out of your misery.
She places a confident heel on your chest and pushes you down to the ground. Her knee falls to your throat, your windpipe crushed beneath a weight you didn't think her slight form could possibly possess.
That's hot.
It can't just end like this, right? I'm sorry, but it's over. Everything goes dark, and you die.
Chapter 2, The Tower.
You're on a path in the woods.
I'm not really
and at the
interested.
end of
I'm
that
kind of
path is a cabin.
broke.
And in the basement of that cabin is
I
a
wouldn't even be able to
princess.
afford your
You're
work
here
if I
to
even
slay her.
wanted to.
If you don't, it will be the end of the world.
Getting a terrible sense of deja vu.
A terrible sense of deja vu. No, you don't have that. This is the first time either of us have been here. If he doesn't remember what happened, then maybe it's best to keep it that way. You know I can hear you, right? It's going to be a lot harder than you think to keep secrets from me. What does it matter what he knows? There's nothing we can do to stop her. She's just going to kill us again. She is not going to kill you unless you let her. But slaying the princess and saving the world is going to be much more difficult than it has to be if you spend the whole time second-guessing yourself.
This is more than deja vu. I'm pretty sure this whole thing literally just happened.
It hasn't. Or if it has, I certainly haven't been a part of it. We've just met for the first time, you and I.
Okay, proceed to the cabin.
A warning before you go any further.
Yeah.
She will lie, she will cheat,
Yeah,
she will do
I've heard it
everything in her
before.
power to
Go
stop
on.
you from slaying
Go on
her.
your little rant.
Don't believe a word she says. We might as well just pledge ourselves to her and stop pretending we're capable of doing anything in this situation. She probably doesn't even need to try to overpower us. Can we tone down the pessimism just a smidge? I'm not being a pessimist. I'm just being realistic. You're being annoying.
Oh, that
Just
hurt.
ignore their bickering and whatever.
Oh,
you do,
that hit way
pledge
too close to
yourself
home.
her.
That
Can't stress enough how absolutely catastrophic
I used to
would
be that
for everyone,
pessimistic, and
yourself included.
I thought it was realistic.
I agree.
It
If she's
was
wrongfully
so bad.
imprisoned, then we should rescue her. But if he's telling the truth, we shouldn't just hand
The
her the world on a
cringe.
silver platter.
The level of cringe that a certain amount of
Rescue
pessimism
her. Given
can
the stakes of the
be
situation, there isn't
is
really a difference
horrible.
between rescuing her and pledging yourself to her. Either would be terrible. So please try to ignore both of those knuckleheads and focus on saving the world. Let's not make this harder than it has to be.
I'm gonna keep listening to the voice of the hero.
If that's what you want, I guess I don't have a say here.
No, you don't, because I'm listening to the voice of the hero this run. We're gonna keep listening to the voice of the hero.
The interior
He's
of
been
the
with us
cabin
this
is
entire
larger
time.
and more grandiose than its humble exterior would suggest. The only furniture of note is a massive marble altar with a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right. Why do we feel so small? We don't feel
Probably because I'm
small.
5'2".
We are small.
Approach. Yeah, you didn't say anything about the mirror on the
That's
wall.
because there isn't a mirror. There's the altar, the blade sitting on the altar, and the door to the basement. There's nothing else in here. There's definitely a mirror. There isn't. Who cares if there's a mirror? We're all going to die anyway. And I'm sure that if we looked in there, we'd just see something sad and miserable looking back at us. We don't need any reminders of what we are. It would only make things worse. For the last time, you're not going to die unless you let it happen. And luckily for you, there isn't a mirror, so no one needs to worry about confronting a grisly visage any time in the near future.
Damn, we that
Though,
ugly?
For what it's worth, if there were a mirror, I'm sure that you wouldn't find anything sad or miserable in it looking back at you. You probably look perfectly normal.
We are ugly.
Probably.
Dang.
Do you not know what we look like? He knows. He just doesn't have the heart to tell us.
Dang, we are ugly. I'm ugly and I'm proud. Sorry, SpongeBob references are like my entire being. I went to look at myself. I went to see how handsome I am. No. I care about whether I'm being lied to. There's a mirror.
Yes, do I. And yeah, there is. I'm not lying to you. Use your eyes. There is no mirror. Why would I lie about something so meaningless? What good would a mirror even do? Let you waste time preening yourself instead of doing what needs to be done.
Approach the mirror.
You walk up to the wall next to the basement door. It's a wall. There isn't much to see here. This really isn't funny.
Wipe the mirror clean.
You reach forward and rub your hand against the cabin wall. I hope you know how ridiculous you look right now. We should count ourselves lucky. Some things are better left unseen.
Take the blade.
You take the blade from the altar. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon.
And into the basement.
The door to the basement creaks open, revealing a spiral staircase. Its steps almost as deep as you are tall. The smell of incense drifts up from below. For a moment, you almost feel at ease. This is actually kind of nice. It's still a stone basement. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her booming voice rolls up the stairs.
Is that a guest I hear? Don't linger on the stairs. Come down and witness me.
You weren't kidding when you said it was booming. She wasn't like this last time. We need to get down there. She wants us to see her. We need to see her. Should we be worried about your sudden change in attitude? Just a few minutes ago you were going on about how pointless everything was. Now you want to go down there. It doesn't matter what that little voice says. He's not the one making the decisions. Though if his ramblings get you to the princess, they get you to the princess.
Continue down the stairs.
Making your way down the spiral staircase is a time-consuming and exhausting effort, every step requiring you to clamber over one edge before dropping to the next. But soon the end comes into view, and you tumble to the bottom, entering the vast, temple-like room beyond. The princess towers over you, almost glowing in the weak starlight, her figure framed by a stained glass window. Her long hair billows around her, and a chain binds her wrist to the far wall. The chain is nothing to her. It might as well be a toy for all the good it would do. I told you it was pointless to resist her.
The little bird has returned to me. I wonder what he wants. You've brought that knife again, even though you know it's useless. Such charming audacity. Drop it.
As
No.
if on command, the blade slips from
No.
your grasp. It clatters uselessly to the floor. But we didn't drop it. We decided to grip it tighter, remember? Are you really just going to let that happen to us? I have a duty to report facts as facts, and the fact is that you dropped the blade. Of course we dropped it. She's so much more than us. You wouldn't understand what it feels like to be in her presence. Oh, I understand what's going on, and you'd better snap yourself out of it.
Kneel.
No.
Oh, are you still trying to defy me? I said kneel.
Your legs buckle, and your
God damn
knees
it.
hit the floor.
That's my good little bird. Now, why don't we talk? The last time we met, you told me I was destined to end the world. That thought wrapped itself around my heart.
Oops.
I could feel its fundamental truth awaken me. The collapse of the old is a necessary prelude to the birth of the new. And the world as it is now is overdue for alterations. It's time for me to seize my destiny. And you, little bird, will help me seize it.
Well, that gives away the game, doesn't it? It certainly does. And beyond that, it more than lends credence to our conversation in the woods. I don't love the thought that in some other reality you failed to destroy her, but what's done is done. I can only hope it helped you learn a valuable lesson. You are the only one
Yeah,
who can deal
Spike.
with her. If you don't, well, she's let you know what will happen, hasn't she? Then you shouldn't have trusted us with her destruction. She is inevitable. Can't you feel it? He's being melodramatic, but he's not exactly wrong, is he? What are we supposed to do to stop her? Okay, first things first, you're going to have to stuff those pessimistic thoughts someplace far, far away and commit yourself to what needs to be done. The stakes of the situation should be perfectly clear to everyone now. And if you're going to save the world, you have to have faith that you can pull this off. You can't win a battle that you've already lost.
What is she,
in
an
your mind.
Igor? Stop believing in her and doesn't exist anymore? What would you have me do? What do you have planned? Just because you're supposed to end the world doesn't mean you actually have to do it. You can be whatever you want to be. I have questions for you before I decide to do anything. What happened to you after I died? I'm not going to help you in the world. I don't care if something new comes after. I just can't let you do that. Yeah, let's go with
I
that one.
see. Perhaps you need another lesson in submitting to your betters. Pick up that needle.
Do it. It's what she wants. No objections here. I don't know what she's planning, and I don't like that we don't know what she's planning, but we might as well pick up the blade. As your eye falls on the blade, you feel a weight. Some divine hand that sits unperceived by your senses, but that manages to push you towards its desires like an unseen puppeteer.
Why? What are you going to try to make me do with it? I'm going to kill you. You're not kidding about that divine hand. Who's doing this? Is it her? Is it you? No. Pick up the blade.
You reach forward and grasp the blade.
Stand.
This one's easy. See? This isn't so bad. Okay, yeah. We can do that.
We were probably going to stand anyway.
I hate you. I hate you so much. All of you. Stop making me do things. I'm going to kneel here forever.
You
Stand.
can feel a creaking tension between body and will as you slowly rise to your feet, like two foes forced into an unhappy truce. The princess eyes you with soft contemplation. The moment seems to last a lifetime, the silent anticipation of what's to come dragging out the long, painful seconds. But all silences are broken eventually.
To define me is to claim we stand on level ground. We do not. You are quiet shadow, while I am brilliant radiance.
Ah, fuck you.
Take that knife in your hand and slit your throat.
What if I don't wanna?
What? You don't have to listen to her. You're armed. Just steel your nerves, step forward, and end this.
Oh, we'll end this all right.
Your hand
Oh,
lifts
no.
the blade and brings it towards your throat. Okay, I apologize for the unclear language. End her.
Slay the princess.
Your body is sluggish and unresponsive, actively fighting against you, but you do your best to stagger forward. One step at a time, you move towards the princess.
Slitting your throat would have been a mercy, but it seems you're in need of a harsher lesson. Plunge that knife into your lungs.
I'm sorry.
Oh, you're
Don't-
not?
As you take another step forward, the blade digs into your ribs, slicing through flesh with ease.
You're not sorry.
It somehow feels like an entirely natural thing to do, while the simple act of walking has become an arduous impossibility. Then it slides back out, the wound burning as a small hiss of air escapes through the fresh orifice. Blood fills your lungs.
Now, do it again. Keep doing it until I give you permission to stop.
Those are just words. You don't have to listen to her.
It's what she wants.
You, heroic one, what are you doing? Don't just let this happen. Stop him from killing you.
I'm on it.
Your other hand locks around your wrist, struggling to keep it from perforating vital organs. But the blade still flails
Hero,
towards
you're-
you, managing to slice bits of skin
This
that
is not
drop to the
helping.
floor to join the growing pile of blood and
This
gore.
is very painful, hero.
Despite the pain, you manage to keep yourself in one piece, at least for now.
What a pitiful display. A wounded little bird thinking it can defy a god. It doesn't have to be like this. It doesn't have to hurt so much. You can choose a gentle end. You can choose to leave that punctured vessel for the next.
Slay the princess!
Or you can pathetically struggle against yourself until the floor of this temple is painted with the bloody impressions of your futility.
You continue to approach the princess, even as the repeated gouges of your blade expose bone and muscle to the open air of the basement.
You know, this would be a lot easier if you gave us a hand.
My influence only goes so far, and I can only juggle so many things at once. The best I can do right now is to continue to drive you forward. Believe me, this whole ordeal would be so much easier if I didn't have to contend with free will.
You're the one making things difficult. You're the one making us hurt. She doesn't want to hurt us. She's just doing what she has to.
Bullshit.
Stop.
As you finish crossing the room, you fall to your knees at the princess's feet, your chest heaving as your blood pools in the crevices of the stone floor, the coppery taste coating your throat. The princess kneels down, lifting your chin with her finger as her face lowers to yours.
God, that's hot.
Your devotion is misplaced. You've surrendered to delusion. but something about your defiant spirit speaks to me. You are different than you were before. Perhaps, if you've learned your lesson, I can spare you from the release of death. There's a place at my side for you, if you'll have it. Not as an equal, but as something worthy to be kept. A priest, perhaps, or a pet.
Nah, not my thing.
Well, that's demeaning, isn't it? Yes, how thoughtful of her. It's a mercy. Take it. I think he's given up whatever say he had at the start of all this. At least one of you is sane. She's within striking distance, and she's only negotiating now because she knows you have what it takes to put an end to her. Seize the moment before it's too late.
Slay the princess.
Yes, though your body trembles, struggling to defend itself in the face of the princess's overwhelming will, you finally manage to break through, darting to her side before she can react. The wind of your freedom rushes through you, and you channel it into a decisive blow, stabbing into the soft flesh of her ankle and severing the tendons in an act of unyielding defiance. She falls to the floor, crashing unceremoniously to her knees. But you don't give her any time to recover. Your heart pounding with determination, you plunge your blade into her chest. As you find your target again and again, she laughs, crude emotion breaking through her once stony composure as your blade cuts her flesh. We can do this, can't we? You always
Yeah, hero,
could.
don't give up.
The decision to give you this task was not.
I'm giving you
lightly.
all the decision making
You're
here, hero.
It's not too late to pick up the pieces. It's not too late to toss that blade aside and beg
Broken,
for
shut the
forgiveness.
fuck up.
Shut up.
I can't believe you would actually strike me. You
heathen! You worm! You defiler! You don't know the consequences of your arrogance!
Before you can strike the final blow, the princess lashes out, knocking you off your feet. There's an unsettling wet pop as your spine breaks, numbness and pain spreading through your body. As you rebound towards the ceiling in a moment of disorientated lightness, she drives her fist into
I
your
hate
chest.
that I can feel this through
Your
the
body
screen.
is crushed as she pulverizes you into the floor, the ground itself breaking from the impact.
I forgot how graphic this game is.
You lie there, broken, beyond pain, unable to even see what she's done to you. But the princess is succumbing to her own wounds as well. She looks down upon her body in abject horror and disgust.
You made me use my hands. I can feel myself twisting into something new, something dull, something defiled. What have you done to me?
You're monsters and conspirators. I can't bear to watch this.
The princess has been nothing but cruel to you. You should feel liberated by her fall.
That's
I
not
don't
really how
feel
toxic feel.
liberated.
That's not how toxic relationships work,
I feel
narrator.
empty.
Sorry to
Aside
break
from
it
the
to you.
pain, I feel fine. She collapses to the floor. Her glassy eyes watch, unblinking, yet somehow still full of anguish and fear, as the two of you perish together. I suppose we were never gonna get a happy ending here, were we?
Nope.
Don't let those be your final thoughts. You saved the world. That's worth something. I guess. Regardless of how you feel about it, it's finally over. Thank you. Everything goes dark, and you die.
The fury.
You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of the path... Okay, what the hell is that? I think he's upset. What's he got to be upset about? We just killed a god.
Exactly. You heathens destroyed the most beautiful thing that ever was and ever will be.
These trees look like
You're damn right we
little
did.
claws.
You'll get over it. I can't say I have much sympathy for you. She was bad for us and you almost got us killed. You're being too generous. He did get us
Yeah, I was
killed.
about to say.
All right,
Correction.
enough
He
chatter.
did get us
There's
killed.
one thing I'm supposed to do, and if you don't mind, I'd like to do it without any more interruptions. Okay, great, you're listening. You're on a path in the woods, and at the end of that path is a...
If your thing is telling us about the princess, don't waste your breath. We know all about her, and it's hardly a path in the woods at this point, is it?
Yeah, everything's
This
kind of
is
just
just
melting.
Let me cut to the chase. Clearly, you've already been in.
Yeah, you think? Actually, I don't think we have been here. This is all different, isn't it?
Yes, precisely. And if you'd given me 2 seconds to finish my thought, I would have said that. Oh, you're actually letting me talk now. Great. If you've already been here, it means you've seen things you aren't supposed to have seen, and you know things that you aren't supposed to know. This doesn't look like a path in the woods if reality seems distorted. It's because reality is distorted. So you knew this could happen. You knew we'd be able to restart like this. Look, if the world around you is changing, especially all the way out here, then that means you're nearing the point of no return.
Out here?
Whatever happens next, that's it. There won't be any more do-overs. So you'd better take things seriously.
Where exactly are we? It feels like I'm being pulled into 100 different directions. You better all listen to me when the time comes to make a
So
choice.
what if I'm speaking my mind? It's not like I've ever really got a say in things.
What a crock of shit. Yeah, you stabbed us last time. Repeatedly.
It didn't even work. It doesn't count.
We died. If you didn't submit to her, for all we know, that wouldn't have happened.
It's the punishment you all deserved for not listening to her.
Aside from our sulking friend, I don't think we have much to worry about. You're still the one in charge here, and I don't think that's ever going to change. Second he tries something, I'll put a stop to it.
You better. If I don't slay her, if I just say stay here or do anything else, we hit this point of no return. Then what happens?
Then
Good
what
question.
happens? Have you even been listening? It's the end is what happens.
But what does the end
Yeah,
look
but
like?
Is there something after the end? How am I supposed to know? The end means finality. It's not like I can just peek on over to the other side and tell you what it's like there, if there even is a there. It doesn't matter because we're going to win. Now that's exactly the sort of mindset I like to see. Don't let yourself be consumed with self-doubt. Don't flirt with oblivion. Just focus on the present and everything will be absolutely fine.
Okay, well, but what if Oblivion is hot, though? Oh, that was a terrible joke. That was a terrible joke. So I only proceed to the cabin.
Good. We're all on the same page. It isn't long before you find yourself at the end of the path, staring up at the cabin on the hill. You'll find the princess within, as I'm sure you already know. End her. That's it? No final words of advice? I'd rather not waste any more time. I'm sure that any advice I'd give at this point is something you've already heard.
If there's still a princess at the cabin, maybe we can salvage things. Maybe if we just grovel and apologize, things can go back to how they were before.
Oh, cut it out, will you? We need to be tough right now, and you're making it so much harder than it has to be, so stop whining.
Proceed into the cabin.
The interior of the cabin is a place that feels long forgotten. There was once an elegance to its construction, carved marble columns holding a high arched roof, vaulted windows letting in the weak starlight. But that is how it was. Now there is a growth that has overtaken it. A viscous fluid seeps from cracks in the stone walls, and it congeals into chaotic streaks of
This is
writhing
disgusting.
nerves and wet clumps of living meat.
But it's so cool.
You did this. The only furniture of note is a pulsating pedestal, a pristine blade perched on its edge. The blade is your implement. You'll need it if you want to do this right.
Take the blade.
Take the blade from the pedestal. It would be difficult to slay the princess and save the world without a weapon. Good. Nothing feels better than gripping cold steel.
Approach the mirror.
You step forward and approach the door to the basement, hesitating before you open it. Almost as if you don't see it. But you must, because it's right there in front of you. All we see is a damn mirror. It really is just like last time. Are we really hallucinating? Why here? Why now?
Smash it. Smash it to pieces. It's the only thing keeping us from her.
Don't you want to know what we've seen then? We won't be able to see anything if we smash it. Now I'm with him. Smash it. Let's get violent already. Do whatever you want with it. The mirror isn't real, so how you handle it doesn't matter, aside from wasting dangerous amounts of time.
We're listening to Hero, so wipe the
You
mirror
reach
clean.
forward and drag your hand across the door leading to the basement. As if on command, it slowly slides open, scraping against the stone floor, its ancient hinges moaning as it reveals the dim path ahead. Why am I not surprised? You step forward into the darkness. The stairs leading down to the basement are at once both narrow and grandiose. A high vaulted ceiling stretches up into a gloom beyond your sight, while walls wet with tumorous growths press in uncomfortably.
Kinda looks
to your
like
sides.
tuberculosis.
You feel both unprotected and trapped.
Specifically this
Once
little
exposed
batch right
and
here.
claustrophobic. The air is thick, its odor an oppressive violence. The metallic scent of fresh blood twisting with the nauseating embers of charred remains. If the princess lives here, slaying her is probably doing her a favor. Her voice, a bellowing rage, roars up the stairs.
Was severing the tendons of my ascension not enough for you? Was it not enough to rend my divine heart? Come, see the horrors you've wrought upon my flesh, and feel my hands set upon your throat.
She's so angry with us. Why? Why did you desecrate her? Why couldn't I stop you?
You've got to stop thinking about her like that. It isn't doing anyone any good. She's not some untouchable god. She's an abomination. And we're going to put an end to her once and for all.
Whatever she is now is our fault. If she's an abomination, then what does that make us?
She was going to end the world last time. If I might interject, you didn't make her into an abomination. She's always been what she is. It's why you're here. And it's why your task is so important.
Take you down the
You
stairs.
make your way to the bottom of the stairs. The chamber's walls are painted in blood, a deep, sickening red that drips down blood streams onto the charred corpses that make up its floor. This place reeks of torment, of ripped skin and burning bone. The princess stands in its center, muscles flayed and bare and weeping, draped in a tattered dress of her own skin. Her heart beats from its place in her open chest.
Do you know what I'm going to do to you?
There's not so much a moment of hesitation before she steps forward. Her chains pull taut, holding fast as she strains against them. The cuff around her wrist digs deeper into her skin. Blood drips from the place where metal meets flesh. And then, with a nauseating sound, the skin tears. It plops to the ground, and she pulls her
Gross.
red, glistening arm free from her bindings. She is loose, and she is coming for you.
It's the punishment you all deserve for what you did to her. It's the punishment I deserve for letting it happen.
Screw that. We can win. We've done it before, and we'll do it again, only this time we'll make it out the other side. Hell, she's practically done most of the work for us.
Slay the princess.
Your heart full of fear, you charge towards the princess, your eyes locked on each other, both of you prepared to lay down your very essence in one blow. It's now or never. Let's make it a beautiful blaze of glory. With a horrifying squelch, you are unwound.
I hope you weren't planning on dying. We're going to make this last forever. Huh. I feel cold. I've never felt cold before.
True to her word, you do not die by her hand. Something has taken her away. It's left something else in her place.
She's gone. Where did she go? Should we try and find her? And there's that mirror again. Why is it here? Why now?
I don't know where she went, and I don't know how we'd even go about looking
You're
for her.
right. She's gone. It's just us and that awful thing. It's like it's mocking us. I feel anxious. Does anyone else feel anxious?
Narrator's gone.
Does that mean the world ended? The world didn't end. We're still here. Come on. We just need to keep going. Figures the world would end and leave us with all this nothing.
I think I'm supposed to look at the mirror.
There's something dreadful about it. I don't think you should. Screw the mirror. We just need to find the princess. I don't want to look at us.
Approach
I'm
the
begging
mirror.
you, don't do this.
The mirror never scared you
It's
before.
different now. It feels, I don't know, final.
You approach the mirror, gaze into your reflection. Silence as you reach forward. They're gone, but the mirror remains. It's time for you to see what's in it. It's you. You are alone in a place that is empty. It is quiet here. Proceed to the cabin. You are at the cabin. Approach her.
Something finds me in the long quiet and brings me the gift of a fragile vessel.
What are you?
I am solitary lights in an empty city. What are you?
What do you think I am?
I think that you are like me. We are oceans, reduced to shallow creeks.
The gift of a fragile vessel?
Yes, nerves and fibers to feel the worlds beyond, perspectives to make my own. This one is desecration. She placed the weight of her agony on you, yet it is she who unwound herself. But there is passion and empathy in her misery. She will make for a burning heart. Do not mourn her. She has finally found peace.
Is this the end of the world?
How can the world have ended if we are talking?
Fair point. Do you know the narrator?
You are the only thing I have ever known. The space we're in is vacant. Nothing comes here but us.
Are you what sent me to slay the princess? Are you what trapped me here?
I have only just now stirred to consciousness. I could not have trapped you here, and I too yearn to be free.
Do you know about the worlds beyond this place?
I know only that they are.
Are you the princess?
She is part of me, and part of me is her.
But were you always the princess? Or are you just making her a part of yourself?
You speak in circles. Does it matter where one thing begins and another ends?
Do we know each other?
You are familiar, but you are not me. I feel sadness, longing, hope as I witness you.
What if I attack you? Your will cuts across the entity in front of you, but nothing happens.
My roots burrow in an ocean beyond your sight. We cannot harm each other as we are now.
What happens now?
Nothing as we are. But I know that there are worlds beyond us, and that we are meant to reach them. There is no exit, but this vessel is a creature of perception. She can make you forget, if only you believe her to be able to. Bring me more perspectives, so that I may be whole, and perhaps then we will know our freedom.
Aren't you scared that I will find a way to kill you?
I have not lived. I am not afraid to die.
How much will I forget?
Everything, until we meet again.
How many more pieces of you do I have to find?
More than you have found, but less than there are to find. I am infinite. The rest will find their own way home.
And what if I don't let you do this to me?
Then we will be here forever, as we are now. Unfinished, dry, hollow.
I was sent to slay the princess, to stop her from destroying the world. If I help you, is that what you're going to do?
You ask of things that cannot be done. To destroy is merely to reshape, to remold.
You're being semantic. What are you going to do if I help you?
How can I know? I am flickers in something sprawling and unilluminated.
Okay, make me
She
forget.
asks that I tell you to remember her. You won't.
Everything goes dark, and you die.
You're on a path in the woods.
Okay. Yeah. We're gonna end that here, guys. I'll probably stream more of this tomorrow. Hope y'all enjoyed. Have a wonderful day, and yeah, enjoy your Saturdays. Bye-bye.